Okay, so a very good evening, students. I hope I am audible. Okay, so I hope all of you are ready for the session. And till now, we have completed all your papers, and computer applications is going to be the last paper for maximum of you, right? So when we talk about this subject, as you all know, this is the 100 marks paper. All other papers, all other subjects which you have given, that they have been 80 marks paper, but this computer applications is going to be a 100 marks paper. Now, when we talk about this subject, as you have been aware of the subject also and of the syllabus also, this subject, the first initial chapter, they are the revision of your class 9, right? Revision of your class 9, whatever you have studied, that was there, and again, there are the other chapters. Now, today's session, I am basically focusing on the major content of your initial part, that is the class 9 syllabus, which was there. That is the introduction to object-oriented programming, the concept of object-oriented programming system, then values, data types, operators, basics of Java, then the math functions, then the decision-making part, and the loops. Okay. So once again, a very good evening to all of you, and at the outset, I would like to wish you all the best for your computer applications paper, and I want that those of you who would be watching this session, watching this video, get 100 out of 100 marks. That will be our target. That will be our focus in the coming few days which we are having. Now, the first section, as I told, that is the concept of object-oriented programming system. Here you have to be focused, and that is important for your section A. Maximum of the things for your section A, they are important for. Now, when we talk about an object-oriented programming, as you all know, object-oriented programming is an concept of programming in which stress is laid on data rather than functions. In object-oriented programming, stress is laid on data rather than functions. And when we talk about the advantages, right, advantages of the object-oriented programming, the data values, they are secured, mishandling of data is protected, error detection becomes easy, and it is easier to make complex programs in object-oriented programming. Now, when we talk about different programming languages, because when we talk about the MCQ questions, so these things are important to identify. So certain OOP languages, like if you talk about Java, C++, Visual Basic, Smalltalk, Python, these are all object-oriented programming languages. So students, a kind request to you, rather than unnecessarily typing in the comment, if you listen to me what is being told, and if you have queries, that time, that those things, if you could type, that will be helpful for all of us, right? Kindly utilize this section, because I'm giving my time, you are giving your time, so it is beneficial for both of us that if we utilize the time in proper study, right? Now, when we talk about object-oriented programming, an important thing comes, elements of OOP, right? The elements of object-oriented programming. Now, elements of object-oriented programming, the first one is object. What is an object? An object is a unique entity which has some characteristics and behaviors, right? An object is a unique entity which has some characteristics and behaviors. Class. What is a class? A class is a group of objects which have some common characteristics and behaviors, right? A class is a group of objects which have some common characteristics and behaviors. Then we talk about encapsulation. Encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation is the wrapping up of data and functions together into a single unit called class, right? Encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation is the wrapping up of data and functions together into a single unit called class. That's encapsulation. What is abstraction? Abstraction is the act of representing essential components and Abstraction is the act of representing essential components and hiding the background details, right? Abstraction is the act of representing essential components and hiding the background details. That's abstraction. Then comes inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance is the process of transferring or linking with one class to another class, or creating an existing class from an existing class if you want to create a new class. That is inheritance, right? Then polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism is the concept of having more than one functions with the same function name but with different set of attributes, right? What is polymorphism? Polymorphism is the concept of, means poly means many, and morph is form. So it is the process of using a function for performing multiple tasks with the same set of attributes. Now, from this unit, if I say, basically when we talk about what is basically the concept of object-oriented programming, what are the basic things? These things you need to understand: what is inheritance, what is abstraction, what is encapsulations, these concepts. Now, when we talk about certain picture-based questions in your question papers, you must have seen there are certain picture-based questions. We'll be talking specifically one unit section. I'll be taking on that part also. Now, if for example, certain things, if you are given a picture of a ATM machine. Now, for the ATM machine, you need to know what is the process, how do you access it. You do not need to know the internal working or the internal mechanism of the internet. So, of the ATM machine. So, that is an example of abstraction. A motorbike is shown. Now, the motorbike, you need to know how to drive it. You are not concerned about the internal mechanism. That is abstraction. For example, a system is shown that there is a parent, there is a child, or there is a grandparent, there is a parent, then there is a child. What will be it? Example, which object-oriented programming it refers to? That is inheritance. For example, so basically there, for example, a capsule is shown, right? A capsule is shown, this medicine, the capsule we use, no, that is shown. What is it representing? That is representing again a encapsulation. Several things, several medical components, they are present in it. There are certain granules are present, and they combine together form the capsule. So that is encapsulation. Next, let us talk about object, class, and the real life examples if we talk about. So we say a class is an object factory. Why is the class referred as an object factory? Because various objects are created within the class. That is why a class is known as an object factory. I hope this is clear to everyone. Why is a class known as object factory? A class is known as object factory because various objects, similar type of objects, are created within the class. Why is an object known as an instance of a class? Right? Why is an object known as instance of a class? Because the data members, they are declared within the class. Right? The various data members, they are declared within the class, and they are known as instance variables. So when an object of a class is created, it includes the instance variables. This is the reason that an object is called as an instance of a class. Next, why is a class user-defined data type? Why is a class known as user-defined data type? Now, why is a class? Because when the user creates a class, it becomes a data type for his program. And the output of the class depends on whatever type of data has been created. That's why an object is known as instance of a class. Okay, now if you are asked what is the difference or differentiate between a class and an object, it had come in 2011, difference between object and class. When we say a class is a blueprint, right? A class is a prototype of an object. And when we talk about an object is an unique entity having some characteristics and behaviors. A class is known as object factory, object is known as instance of a class. So we can very easily define. Again, like if I say, how can again we say what is the use of the different class, object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism? These are different components or the elements of object-oriented programming. What is dynamic binding? Dynamic binding? Dynamic binding, basically it is known as, or it is referred to as, linking of the method call statement, right? Method call statement with the method definition, function definition, that is known as dynamic binding. Okay, next let us talk further. We talk about the values and data types. I'm going fast. If you have certain doubts, you could just let me know. I'll discuss on that. Character set of Java. The character set of Java is Unicode, right? Java has its own character set that is known as Unicode. It contains lowercase letters, uppercase letters, digits, blank spaces, special characters. All of these are present. Now, when we talk about the different characters. So Unicode, as I told, the character set of Java is Unicode. It's a wide representation of the characters in numeric form, and it is a 16-bit code, right? 16-bit code. Now, before talking further, we talk about escape sequence. What is escape sequence? Escape sequence, they are certain non-graphic characters, right? The escape sequence are certain non-graphic characters which are used to represent certain characters. They are followed by a backslash, right? The escape sequence are also called the backslash characters. So, like backslash T for horizontal tab, backslash V for vertical tab. So different backslash L for new line. So these are the various types of escape sequences. The escape sequences are used to represent non-graphic characters, right? Non-characters are there. So you get output based questions from the escape sequence. You can get certain output based questions. In some of the session, I'll be again talking about the output based questions. Now next is token. What is a token? A token is a smallest individual unit used in a program. The token is the smallest individual unit used in the program, and the tokens are basically the various smaller components of the Java program. They are known as tokens. So what are tokens? Tokens are the smallest individual units used in the Java program. Okay. So when we talk about these tokens, as I told, they are the smallest individual components used in the Java program. Now the different tokens they are. First of all, so we will talk about keywords. What are keywords? Keywords are special words which convey some special meaning to the Java program. Right? Keywords are special meanings which are used to represent in the Java program. So, like certain keywords, public, static, void, int, float, double, all these are keywords. Then we talk about literals. What are literals? Literals are the constants values we use in the programs, right? Literals are the constants used in the Java program. Now, these literals, they can be integers, they can be float, there can be character, there can be string, there can be boolean, there can be null. So these are the various literals, the constants values, right? So integers, real numbers, characters, string values, boolean, and null. Then we talk about identifiers. What are identifiers? Identifiers are the variables whose values can change during the execution of the program. They are identifiers. Then we have operators. Operators are symbols. So we'll talk about operators again. Operators are symbols which are used to perform some specific task. Then when we talk about operators, punctuators, they are the special punctuation marks, comma, colon, semicolon, they are the punctuators. Then separators. Separators are used to distinguish certain sections or certain areas of the program. Now let's talk about operator once again. Operator, as I told, operators are symbols which are used to perform certain specific tasks, right? Now the operators can be classified in two ways. One is based on number of operands, right? Based on number of operands. I hope it's clear. Based on number of operands, we have unary, binary, and ternary, right? Unary, binary, and ternary operators. Unary operators, they work on a single operand, right? The unary operators work on a single operand. Like we have unary positive and unary negative, right? Unary positive and unary negative operators, the plus and the minus signs. The unary positive operators do not make any change on the operand, but the unary negative operators change the value of the operand. Now, when we talk about the second one, that is increment and decrement. Now, increment is denoted by plus plus, decrement is denoted by minus minus. The increment operator increases the value by 1 and the decrement operator decreases value by 1. These are again further classified as prefix and postfix. Students, try to understand it well because you will get questions from this. Prefix and postfix. Prefix works on the concept of change then use. But postfix works on the concept of use then change, right? Change then use and then use then change. For example, if I say a equal to 5, I say b equal to plus plus a into 4. What will happen? 6 into 4, that's 24. Fine. I say A equal to 3, B equal to A, plus A plus A plus A. Now you see, plus A becomes 4, plus A it is 4, plus A it becomes 5. Result is 13. That's in prefix. When we talk about postfix, A equal to 3, B equal to A plus minus 3 plus A. Now you see, A plus, here it will remain as 3, minus 3 plus value of A as how much it is now? 2. It is 2. Fine. Now, so this prefix and postfix, like again I say one more example, I say A equal to 3, B equal to 5, C equal to plus A plus minus B plus B plus. Now, plus A is 4, plus A plus, it will remain 4 only. Later on, if somewhere it is used, it will be 5. Minus of B, it is now 4. Plus B plus, it's now 4. B plus again it will be 4. Fine. Now, it is 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12, 12 minus 4 is 8. It can be that you might be asked for the final value of A and B. Now, in this case, if I say system.out.println A, the value of A is 5. The final value of B is also 5 and the value of C is 8. So you will have to see what is being asked in the question. If you are asked the value of A, the value of B, value of C, depending upon that you will print it. So that was unary operator. The binary operator, those operators which work on two operands like the A plus B. Now this plus is the operator, A and B are the operands. Next we talk about ternary operator. Ternary operators are also known as conditional operators, right? Ternary operators are also known as conditional operators. They are used at place of the decision-making statement. These ternary operators can be used. For example, for the syntax of the ternary operator is like this. If I say tomorrow's session, remember tomorrow's session, after that I'll be giving you a set of practice questions for your section A, the MCQ questions. I'll be giving 100 questions tomorrow. So all of you kindly stay connected tomorrow. Again, we'll have the session the same time. And tomorrow's session, it will be after the session, I'll be giving 100 questions for MCQ. Right? So stay connected tomorrow as well, all of you. Now, if I say A equal to, ternary operator, as I told, it's a conditional operator. How it is used? Variable is equal to condition. Question mark, statement 1 colon statement 2, right? Now if I say int, I have to find the bigger of two numbers. Max is equal to A greater than B, question mark, A colon B. Now if A is bigger, the value of A will be stored in max. If B is bigger, the value of B will be stored in max. So this ternary operator can be used to find the decision making. Instead of decision making, right, the ternary operator is used as a decision making statement, and whatever statements are there, those values could be taken here. Like if I say, for example, I have to check whether the student is pass or fail. I say string R is equal to, right? String R is equal to, I have taken M for the marks, M greater than or equal to 33, right? If the marks is greater than or equal to 33, in that case, it is pass. Otherwise, it will be fail. Right? So that's the ternary operator. Any queries with ternary operator? Okay. Okay, one more thing in ternary operator, let me explain. Statement to find the biggest of three numbers. This one we are checking for two numbers. If I have to find the biggest of three numbers. Okay, if I have to find the biggest of three numbers using ternary operator, what I can do? Int max is equal to, Okay, max is equal to, I compare A and B. A is greater than B. If A is bigger, now in this case again I'm asking it, if A is greater than C, then question mark A or C. Now this is happening if A is greater than B. Now if B was greater, right? So again, this was the first part, colon, right? Now if B is greater than C, question mark B colon C. Okay. If A is bigger, then this part is occurring. Otherwise, if B was bigger, then this part was occurring and this value will come. So we can use ternary operator able to find the biggest of three numbers. So that was unary, binary and ternary. Next, the second classification takes place based on the task performed. Based on task performed, we have arithmetic, already discussed arithmetic, plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, they are the arithmetic operators. Then we have relational, right? Relational operator, less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to. These are all relational operators. And one thing always remember when we talk about relational operators, these relational operators always result a Boolean value. Like if I say A equal to 5, B equal to 7, and I say system dot out dot println A greater than B. What will be the output? The output will be false, right? Then we have the logical operator. Logical operators we have and, or, and not, right? And, or, and not. What is the and operator? The and operator results a true value when all the conditions are true. That's the and operator. Or operator, if either of the inputs is true, then it will return a true value. That's the or operator. Not operator, just the complement of the input. Right? If I say A greater than B and I apply it's not, so it will be resulting to a, if it is true, the not operator will result into false. Are you clear with the operators? And, or, and, not, they are the logical operators, then the arithmetic operator, and then the relational operator. Now, when we were talking about data types, we talked about different types of data. Data types, the basic classification can be done as primitive and non-primitive data types, right? Primitive and non-primitive data types. What are primitive data types? Primitive data types are those data types which do not depend on any other data type. Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? They do not depend on any other data types. So there's numeric like int, float, char. These are all primitive data types. When we talk about non-primitive data types, the non-primitive data types depend on other data types, right? The non-primitive data types depend on other data types. We have example like array, class, reference. These are all non-primitive data types, right? These are all non-primitive data types. Array, class, and reference. They are non-primitive data types. Okay. Yeah. So when we talk about the different data types, now what happens that if there is any operation performed, and there are different types of data, 5 plus 3.5. Now 5 is int and 3.5 is double. Now what will happen? The result will come as a double value. So in this case, the 5 is also converted to 5.0. It becomes. So in this case, we have this conversions, right? The conversion, and there are two types of conversions: implicit and explicit, right? Implicit and explicit. What is implicit conversion? Implicit is automatic conversion, right? Implicit is automatic conversion. We have the hierarchy: byte, then char, then short, then int, then long, then float, then double. Byte, char, short, int, long, float, and double. Now these data types are in a hierarchical manner. So the resultant value will be the higher one. Like if I'm operating an int and a double, so the result will come as double. So this is implicit type conversion, where it is automatic conversion. The second one is explicit conversion. Explicit conversion is also known as forced conversion. So it is another type of data conversion in which it is forced. That is also known as typecasting. Right? Explicit conversion is also known as typecasting. For example, if I say I have a value which is to be converted to any other specific data type, right? Any other specific data type. Char C is equal to A, right? And now if I say int B is equal to int of C. So B will be storing now what? 65. It is forcefully converted from a character to an integer. So it is a explicit conversion, which is also known as typecasting, where the data set is converted to the higher value or the whichever value it is needed. So you need to remember the hierarchy. Sometimes you might be asked to arrange for it, right? You might be asked to arrange it in a proper order, the data types in a proper order. So that can be done using this table. So that you need to understand the various data types. Operators also were discussed, unary, binary, ternary and all. So that is done, that part is done. Okay, sometimes what you do, what you get, right? You get something to write the Java expression for anything, right? Write Java expression for something. For example, if I say a simple one, S is equal to A plus B upon A minus B. You have to write a Java expression for that. What you should do here, you try to identify what will be the data type. It has to be double. So I say double S is equal to A plus B upon A minus B. This becomes the value. So this way we can get the Java expression. For any mathematical expression, you need to know how to write the Java expression that you should be able to understand. Then when we talk about Java, as you know, Java is an object-oriented programming language, right? Java is an object-oriented programming language, and this object-oriented programming language is basically, it was developed by James Gosling, right? It was developed by James Gosling while he was working for Sun Microsystems. Now, when we talk about Java programming language or Java as a programming language, so this programming language is a high-level language, right? Java uses both compiler as well as interpreter. What is compilation? Compilation is the process of converting the source code to the machine code, right? Compilation is the process of converting the source code to the machine code. And when we convert the source code to machine code, in normal programming languages, directly the source code is converted to machine code. But in case of Java, it is first converted to an intermediate language, and that language is Java bytecode, right? That language is Java bytecode. The source code is converted to an intermediate language, Java bytecode, and then the Java bytecode, by the help of the interpreter of Java, the interpreter of Java is Java virtual machine. So by the help of the interpreter, this Java bytecode is converted to machine code. That was about compilation part. If we say these basic things are there that you could do, then when we talk about BlueJ is an IDE which helps us to make the program, compile the program, edit the program, execute the program. That part is there. Then again, when we talk about the different operations or the different tasks, when we say types of errors, if I say, or exception handling, when we talk about that, again is the class 9th part. Again, when we say the exception handling, when we say what is an exception? An exception is the unwanted situation which affects the program, right? An exception is an unwanted situation which affects the normal execution of the program, and whenever we are handling those exceptions, that is exception handling. The different types of errors, they are syntax error, logical error, and runtime error. What is a syntax error? Syntax errors are those errors which occur due to improper syntax, like missing semicolon or a wrong spelling or improper brackets. These are all syntax errors. Runtime errors are those errors which occurred while the execution of the program. So if there is any syntax error, in that case the program will be compiled. No, the program will not be compiled if there is a syntax error. If there is a runtime error, the program will be compiled, but the program will not execute, because while execution it will find the error. Logical error, if it is there, the program will be compiled and it will be executed also, but we will not be getting the correct output. So these are the three types of errors. Then before talking about this Math functions, all the math functions you need to understand. The math functions basically they are used to perform certain mathematical tasks, right? Certain mathematical tasks, if you say for performing those, the math functions are used. Like if I say first of all math.sqrt to find the square root, math.power to find the power a to the power b. A is the base and b is the power, right? So when we talk about math.power, the return type of this function is double. Math.sqrt return type is double. Then we have math.max to find the bigger of the values. Math.min is to find the smaller number. Okay, so math.min, math.max, math.power, math.sqrt, math.cbrt to find the cube root, math.log to find the logarithmic value to the base 10, math.abs to find the absolute value, right? Math.abs returns absolute value, math.round to rounds to the nearest integer. The return type of math.round is int or long. Math.rent returns the integer value, rounded integer value. Its return type is int. Math.ceil, next higher integer, return type is double. Math.float, next previous lower value, return type is double. So these are the basic, again, trigonometric functions. We have math.sin, math.cos, math.tan. This accepts the data angle as radians. Return type is double. Then we have math.asine, acos, and atan. So these things you could use for your practical understanding for different programs. You could use this value. Now an important section of the program comes decision making, right? When we talk about decision making is basically for performing certain decisions, taking out certain decisions, right? So these are decision making programs. They are used to perform certain decisions, to take out certain decisions. Now these decision making programs, there are videos in the channel in which the decision making I have explained, so I'll just give a short overview, and in comment I'll be sharing the link of the decision making program video, and again also the loops one that I'll be sharing, so that you can refer to that and let me know if there are certain things. When we talk about decision making programs, decision making, we have if else, if else, and then the switch case based programs. Now if a condition is there, if the condition is true, then the statement is executed. So if there is a condition, along with the condition there is a statement, right? Along the condition there is a statement. If condition, statement. If else, what happens? In if else, what is there? That if there is a condition, along with the condition there is a statement, right? Along with the condition there is a statement. So if the condition is true, then the statement will be executed, first one, else the second statement will be executed. So that is in if else. Then when we talk about switch, then we have if else, right? If else. What happens in if else? If there is a condition, along with the condition there is a statement, right? If the condition is true, right? If the condition is true, it is the first statement. Else if another condition, second statement. Else if another condition, third statement. So accordingly, whichever condition is true, the statement associated with it will be executed. Then we have switch case. Switch case is basically used in menu driven programs, right? Switch case is used in menu driven programs. Okay. The switch case is used in menu driven programs where we have multiple conditions. Any of the conditions which is there, that will be executed, right? That will be executed, the condition with which it matches. In switch case, we have a break statement. After every case, there is a break statement. If the condition is matching, statement is executed, and then the break statement takes it out, right? So the break statement, if it is not there, then there will be a fall through situation. Fall through situation means it will move on to the next statement, right? That is a fall through situation. If there is no break, then it moves to the next switch. That is fall through situation. Then we have a default statement. What is the default statement? The default statement is used if none of the cases match, then the statement associated with the default will be executed, right? If none of the cases match, then the statement associated with the default will be executed. Difference between break and continue. See, when we come to the loops part, again we will discuss. Break takes us out of the loop, and the continue ignores that particular iteration and moves to the next iteration, right? So that again, break and continue is there. Okay. Radiance one, again, it is that you could be asked, name the method, which is you can be asked the return type. You will not get any output based questions. You will be getting theory questions for the radiance one angle. Okay. Then with that, again, you need to understand those programs, all the programs, the important ones which are there that you need to understand. Okay. Just a second, I'll just share the link if I see here. So when we talk about the programs, you can get multiple. You can get menu-driven question. You can get your programs where there are the slab-based programs. They are important, and you will be getting one of the questions from the slab-based program. You will be getting automatically, whether it is a this thing user part or it is again build one. When we talk about the decision making part, you will be getting questions from that. So the slab based program, I'll be explaining one program also where you can get informations from the different parts. Okay, you can see here. Yeah, this is the link of the decision making program. Okay, I'll be sharing in comment as well the entire playlist from where you can get. So in this video, you can find all the decision making statements, the programs which are there. You can find in that and you can refer to that for that. Now, for example, I'll explain one question, one slab-based program I'm going to explain. Try to understand it once. The question is, write a program to input the number of units consumed and find the electricity bill if it is charged at the following rate, right? The question is, write a program to input the number of units consumed and find the electricity bill. If it is there, first 100 units, rupees 5 per unit. Next 200 units, rupees 6 per unit. Next 200 units, rupees 7 per unit. Okay. Now what we will do, we will put the value of units. What I can say, if u is less than equal to 100, right? If u is less than equal to 100, what happens? B equal to 5 into u. Fine. Else if u is greater than 100 and u is less than equal to 300. If u is greater than 100 and u is less than equal to 300, in that case b is equal to. Now you see, for the first 100 units, he is already paying rupees 5 per unit. So 500 plus u minus 100 multiplied by 6, right? And above 500, it is rupees 9 per unit. Now, else if u is greater than 300 and u is less than equal to 500. Now b equal to 500 plus again 200 into 6, 1200. 1700 plus u minus 300 multiplied by 7. Now else b is equal to 500, 1200, 1400. 3100 plus u minus 500 multiplied by 9, and then we will print the final bill. So you need to understand the logic. Once you understand the logic, it will be clear. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Any queries to this? Just see here, first 100 units, it was rupees 5 per unit. So if U is less than equal to 100, B equal to 5 into 100, right? B equal to 5 into 100. Else if U is greater than 100 and U is less than equal to 300. So for the first one, it is 500 plus U minus 100 multiplied by 6. As much more than 100, that into 6. Else if U is greater than 300 and U is less than equal to 500. So 500 plus 1200, 1700 plus U minus 300 multiplied by 7. Otherwise again, 1700 plus 200 into 7, 1400. 3100 plus U minus 500 multiplied by 9. Runtime error is basically such error which executes or which occurs while the execution of the program. For example, in the source code, somewhere it was A upon B, right? Somewhere it was A upon B, and the value of B becomes 0. In normal case, it will not happen, but if somehow the value of B becomes 0, in that case, it will result an error. For example, again, one more thing, you are making or you made a program to find the area of a triangle. A, B and C was there. S equal to A plus B plus C divided by 2. We find the value of S and we find the area. Somehow the value which was entered which does not form a triangle. In that case, it will result in error. So such situations which result to some value under math.sqrt A and the value of A becomes a negative number. In that case, again, it will be an error. So such errors which occur during the time of execution, they are known as runtime errors. Yeah, difference between, okay. Okay, now if we talk about this part, for the loops, again, when we talk about from loops, you can get number system based questions, right? Number system based questions you can get. Then you can get the value series or pattern you can get. Series or pattern also it could be in the case of a function overloading part also it could be. And then you can get some question again when we say this number system based program or a general application based program. So you need to understand the logic, and based upon that logic you will be able to understand it. Now if I say okay, so the loop, again, it is important because again to help you in the string and the Java part also. Now again, okay, that runtime errors, okay, runtime error, I hope it is clear. Array we will be discussing next session, which I will take. In that I will be discussing about array and string, right? Array and string I'll discuss. When we talk about this static, right? The static keyword, when we define this, basically this is for declaring a class variable, and when we talk about an instance variable, it is basically the object variable. So it is the instance variable is declared at the object level. Okay. Any other queries related to that? Nested for loop. Yeah, nested for loop, again in case of pattern and series you can get the nested for loop. Like if I say, for example, a simple thing when we talk about a nesting. For example, this is the pattern 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I say for I equal to, for example, for I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. The loop of I begins from 1 and is going till 5. For I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. Then I say for j equal to 1, j less than equal to I, j plus plus. J begins from 1 and it goes till I. Now, system dot out dot print j, right? System dot out dot print j, and then we are doing system dot out dot print ln. What happens? 1 to 5, right? 1, I was 1, j 1 till 1. I is 2, j begins from 1 and goes till 2. I is 3, j begins from 1 and goes till 3. So the loop of j depends on I, right? Number system, again you get two types of things are there in number system when you talk about. One is based upon digit extraction like palindrome. What happens? Palindrome is we take n, we take a temporary value t, we take d, we take r as 0. Now we take n as input and t equal to n while n is not equal to 0. While n is not equal to 0, we extract the digit d equal to n modulus 10, r equal to r into 10 plus d, and then n equal to n divided by 10. Right? Outside the loop, what we say? If r equals t, it's a palindrome, else it is not a palindrome. So this was digit extraction. One set of questions number system like the factors. Like if I say perfect number, I take n, I take I. For I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. If n modulus I equals 0, then s equal to s plus I. Sum of the factors n less equal to. If s equals n, then it's a perfect number, else it is not a perfect number, prime number. So these are the two things on which the number system based programs are based. One is the digit extraction and the other is the factors. Here. Okay. So with this, what we will conclude today, that this number system based the loops, decision making, and the basic theory part that we discussed today. Tomorrow I'll be taking a session in which I'll be discussing about string and array. Right, string and array will be discussing, and then one session I'll take in which I'll be taking methods and all, and then Saturday I'll be taking a concluding session in which I'll be discussing about the assumption region questions, output based questions. Those things we'll be doing a final revision. So that way we will go proceed. Yes, I'll be sharing important questions as well that we will do on Saturday. I'll try to do it. Okay. Okay. In case if you have some problem, you can get back to me. Okay. So today the task is that you revise all the things which we discussed and then you go through string and array, and that we can discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow session again the same time I'll be taking. And general advice to all of you: must practice writing programs. Do not just go through it and learn it. Write programs, complete, public, static, void, main, system dot out dot println. At least this today we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day at least 10 programs you must write. Right, 10 complete programs you must write, handwritten. Yes, okay, then see you all tomorrow again, same time 8:30. I'll be sharing the link, or if you have subscribed the channel, you will get the notification as well. So that you can do, you subscribe to the channel so that automatically you will be getting the notification tomorrow. And all the best to all of you. Stay connected tomorrow also. Thank you.